This video will take you through the Pure2 software control panel and its basic functions. On the first tab labelled Main, we have the main controls for our analog outputs. This consists of two big volume controls for the monitor outputs and the headphone outputs, each of them with a drop-down menu for choosing the source, plus mono, dim and mute functions. On the right we also have the main DA source drop-down menu, plus a mute button. As you can see, all three analog outputs can be individually assigned from different sources. On the main tab we also have two VU meters and two peak meters, displaying what's selected on this drop-down menu. Moving to the digital tab, here we can make adjustments to our digital inputs and outputs. We can select which physical input is going to be selected as the digital input. Thus we can have three different digital sources connected to the Pure2, and we can cycle through them from this menu. Then we have a sample rate converter option which will convert the incoming signal from the SPDIF input to the sample rate that we have selected on the Pure2. Then we have a drop-down menu for the USB recording source. This will select what will be fed to the USB for recording in your DAW. For example, the sine wave oscillator, the analog inputs converted by the AD converter, the two stereo USB inputs and the digital in. And finally there's the digital out source menu, wherein we can select which source is going to be outputted by the digital outs. Again, this can be either the sine wave oscillator, the analog input coming from the AD converter, USB playback 1 and 2 or 3 and 4, and the digital input which will be set to whatever we've selected on the digital input selection above. The two stereo USB inputs can be used for individually monitoring and tracking, or monitoring separately two tracks while mastering. On the Input-Output tab, we have a trim selector for both the analog inputs and outputs. This can be set to factory, which is plus 20 dBUs for both the ins and the outs, or set to manual, and this can be adjusted from the trim pots on the rear panel next to the analog connectors. Counterclockwise will incrementally increase and clockwise will decrease the volume. Then we have a tone generator with two separate channels, frequency and level selector, plus mute controls. And finally we have the settings tab. Here we can adjust the USB streaming mode and buffer size for Windows computers, and also adjust the brightness on the front panel display. On the top left corner there's a power button, and next to it the sample rate select and clock source select drop-down menus. Clicking on the question mark icon at the top right corner opens the info menu, providing information about your unit along with the firmware update option. The Pure2 also has three preset buttons, so you can store your favourite setups simply by holding Command on Mac or Control key on a PC and clicking on the preset number of your choice. This can also be done by pressing and holding a preset button of your choice on the front panel, from where you can also recall the presets once saved. The Pure2 can also be fully controlled from the two menus on the front panel. To access the special menu, press and hold the power button, and to access the control menu, press and hold the volume select button. Scroll through the menus by rotating the volume knob, and enter and/or confirm each option by pressing the volume knob. Antelope Audio's Pure2 Mastering AD/DA Converter and Clock is a powerful tool with an easy-to-use software control panel that enables you to manage all aspects of mixing and mastering professional audio.